Welcome into the Lucas podcast. Lucas Frankel alongside Mike Lucas in a very momentous day in the life of Mr. Lucas, turning the age of 32 years old. Can you believe that? Mike, how does it feel?
I woke up feeling good this morning, so it doesn't feel too bad yet. I'm gonna play basketball tonight, Frank. I'll give you an answer tomorrow on how my body feels after a 32-year-old hoop session. But I feel pretty good right now. Appreciated the birthday wishes from everybody. I appreciated your text earlier today, and wouldn't want to spend my birthday any other way, Frank, than schooling you on some sports takes and debates. So let's get right into it, Fred.
Well, you can't feel any worse than the Cleveland Cavaliers feel right now. You guys probably
No.
thought, this was our year. We're going to the playoffs. We're going to roll to the worst possible case, Eastern Conference Finals against the Celtics. But here we are. Cavs are now down 2 games to none to the Indiana Pacers. Second time in 2 games they blew a 20-point lead.
No.
Or I'm thinking of the Celtics.
You're thinking
Sorry,
of Celtics.
it's all blending together. But the Cavs did blow a 20-point
They
lead.
did they blew one 20-point lead, not two.
7 points in 57 seconds. Tyrese Haliburton just completely cold blooded. I mean,
Yeah.
that dude is not fazed by anything. I've just gained so much respect for him. But man, I mean, I was watching that game on I even forget what day of the week it was now. It was either Monday or it must have been Tuesday.
Tuesday.
And just like I was like it was like the longest end of game sequence ever. The game never ended. I was waiting for the game to end forever. I was like I went up with like an update because I was like, if I do this update here, we take a break. But this is like with like 28 seconds left. I was like, all right, so we do the update. It's like 4 minutes from now, and after our break, we'll be able to be live. And the game like still wasn't even remotely close to being over. But the game finally ended. Tyrese Haliburton misses the free throw, gets the rebound, hits the three, sticking a dagger into the hearts of Cavs Nation. Like, just give us a sense of like what are Cavs fans feeling right now, down 0-2 to the Indiana freaking Pacers.
Yeah, it's tough, Frank. I'll be honest with you. I was at game two, sitting in my media seat. When Max Strus hit the three to go up seven, I left my media seat and started walking downstairs so I can do a live post game show. I had the title set. Cavs tie the series at 1-1. And then I hear the crowd kind of go as I was walking back to the press room. So I turned around and I saw the Neesmith dunk. I didn't see that first missed free throw Neesmith dunk, the first of Indiana's points. So I came back and said, all right, the stream said I could scurry out of here. Let me watch the end of this from the floor level. But because there were so many people standing in the area I was behind security, I was watching on the Jumbotron. So I didn't even get to witness in person and get the full effect of the collapse because in my mind, the game was over. I had left my seat and walked downstairs to get ready to do a post game show. And I had to watch one of the most brutal, inexcusable, deflating, demoralizing, gut punch collapses ever. And it wasn't the ref's fault. And give Indiana a ton of credit. They played it perfectly. But despite the refs missing a few calls, and despite the fact that Indiana gave Cleveland numerous opportunities to put it away, the Cavs were so emotionally, mentally, and physically drained by the end of that game that they couldn't get the ball over half court once in the final 48 seconds, Frank. You said 7 points in 57 seconds. No, it's 7 points in 48 seconds. It's even worse than you said. They didn't get the ball over once, not over half court once, Frank, in the final stretch. An offensive foul on the backcourt, an immediate turnover on an inbounds pass, two offensive rebounds off free throws for Indiana that led to buckets. And then to cap it all off, you're up 5 seconds left. Halliburton driving left. He doesn't like to finish with his left hand. His left wrist has been hurting him all game. You can't give up a three, Frank. You're up two. You don't give up a three. And you get caught with the step back instead of allowing him to drive into traffic. Everything that could have went wrong did, Frank. And in the immediate aftermath of that game, you could hear, excuse my French, I'm not going to curse. I'm going to hold it back. I'm an old man now. You could hear a pin drop. I know the expression's used, it's a cliche, but I'm serious, Frank. You could have heard a pin drop. That is how silent the crowd was. And you could legitimately hear Tyrese Haliburton just going, as he was doing the big ball Sam Cassell dance down the court because there was not a single Cavs fan in there making a peep. That is how quiet it got in Rocket Arena. And I've never experienced something like that in person.
So I have experienced like dead silent arenas before. The biggest example I could think of is a couple of years ago. I went to a Nets, and it might have been even a Nets Cavs game during shortly after COVID with restrictions. I had to be fans were back in the arena, and there was a moment where in like the I don't know first quarter where it was like for whatever reason like there was like a timeout on the floor and it was just like you couldn't hear a thing in the arena. So I'm sitting like I don't know a few rows off the court. I had great seats and I was like, all right, this is my moment. So I got up. This is when Kyrie was suspended with due to because of the whole vaccination thing. So I got out of my seat. Durant was like not far from me. I said, Kevin, who needs Kyrie Irving? And the whole arena could hear me. It was like it was unbelievable.
Well, that was like when you came to Cleveland, went to the Yankee game, and you yelled at who was the
It
outfielder?
was I yelled at Joey Gallo. Yeah, yeah. It was like
Gallo.
so quiet. It was so I like Miguel Andujar had to call time because he couldn't concentrate. He was like so frazzled. Could you believe it? I can't believe I still can't believe the fact that I got a Yankee to have to call time because they couldn't contain themselves.
That was an all-time moment. No, for it was. I've been arguing with people. I hate fans. I love fans, and I
You
hate
keep saying about
fans.
the rest. Like if anything, like the injuries, like
Well,
not have.
the last 2 minute report came out,
Oh,
and it stated that there were
I can't stand when
no,
people
no,
like point to the injuries. Or
no, no,
sorry, the
no, no,
refs.
no, no, no. Me too. That's what I'm saying. It drives me nuts. First off, let me ask you this question: why does the NBA even put that out? It doesn't solve anything. It doesn't change anything. The Cavs lost. They admitted they missed 3 calls in the final minute that went against Cleveland. And guess what? There's nothing you can do about it now. Why even put it out there and give fans the thought of or the ability to say, "Oh yeah, the refs didn't cost Cleveland." Even with those 3 calls, if you throw them a proper inbounds pass, you execute one inbounds play, you get one rebound, you box out one big, you still win the game. So save me with that sorry crap, Frank, that it's the refs' fault. It wasn't the refs' fault. They played a factor. It wasn't their fault. But why does the NBA even put that out there? I cannot for the life of me understand the benefit of why the NBA puts it out there and says, "Hey, you're right. Hey, you fans, you're right. We did mess up." Like think of that Pistons Knicks game 4 where they admitted they missed the foul on Malik Beasley on the final shot. He should have been taking free throws for a chance to tie that game. Why put it out there? Like we all know you messed up. As soon as you give it credence, you allowed people to say, "Oh, look, it is rigged. They wanted to." Why even put it out there? Do you know? I genuinely don't.
I mean, there's definitely some level of like accountability. I think they're just trying to be transparent. That's the best I could think of. Like everyone makes mistakes and they want to be just as transparent as possible. It's unfortunate that like since they have the answers so quick, why can't they just review the play in the moment and get it right in the moment as opposed to I guess that's the only beef I have is like they could easily because they have the answer like that,
Yeah,
just review it and then I mean obviously these end of games take as long as they do and it drives me
it's miserable.
insane.
It's miserable. The end of the
And
Cavs game, the last minute took 15 minutes of real time.
so, how much of a failure would it be if the Cavs do not win the series? Given all of the regular season they had, everything they've been through this season, one of the best seasons post LeBron in the history of the organization. If they can't even make it to the conference finals, how big of a failure is that for the Cavs?
It's a failure, but you need context. If the guys were healthy, and they may play game 3, Frank, I heard today, Joe Varden of The Athletic reported, I heard the same thing, that they're going to give it a shot. I feel the least confident Evan Mobley plays. I feel the most confident DeAndre Hunter plays. And Darius Garland, I'm still up on the fence against. But there has to be context. And you can't use injuries as an excuse because every team gets hurt. But if the Cavs were healthy and lost to Indiana, it'd be a catastrophic failure. Catastrophic. But when you consider the fact that they may be missing their second best player for a large portion of the series, and he at least won't be healthy, fully healthy on that sprained ankle. I'm talking about Evan Mobley until at least game 6 if it goes that far. You don't know what you're getting from Darius. If he comes back and looks awesome, then yeah, it helps the cause or would make it more of a failure. But if he comes back as a shell of himself, and DeAndre Hunter, he dislocated his shooting thumb, it'd be a failure, Frank. It'd be a giant disappointment considering how well the regular season went. But how much can you really hold it against the team when they're missing 3 of their 5 best guys in a playoff series? Especially when they did everything right in the regular season to keep guys healthy. They restricted minutes. They did load managing. Like they didn't overdo it, but the reality is none of it mattered. Because in game 1, Evan Mobley, who missed like 7 games all season, played 31 minutes a game, landed on Miles Turner's ankle in a freak play. And DeAndre Hunter, who was the healthiest he had been in 3 years, was playing 24 minutes a game, the lowest minutes since his rookie season, falls and dislocates the thumb on his shooting hand. Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, they did everything right in the regular season, and it still didn't matter.
I mean, it's a battle of survival of the fittest, as they usually
Yeah.
say. Like the net, if that, I mean, the biggest example is like the Nets were healthy in 2021. I mean, I don't think it's much of a debate they would have won the championship, but like that's what sucks about it. But your boy Ty Jerome, 2 points on 1 of 14 shooting.
Bro,
Yikes.
bro.
And the guy that I feel the worst for, because I Donovan Mitchell is like, is he cursed? Like this, because none of this is his fault. None of what's happening in this series with the Cavs is his fault. The guy is doing everything he possibly can to try to win these games for his team. He's putting up unbelievable stats, but there's only so much one person can do. Because I never thought the Cavs were going to the finals or winning the whole thing this year because for whatever reason there's this, whether it's Mitchell coming up short, but this year he's not coming up short. There's just all these other factors around him that aren't going the Cavs' way, and I feel bad for him because like he is like one of the elite players in this game that when the lights are shining brightest, either he comes up short or he doesn't have enough support around him, and it's frustrating. I could feel the frustration, especially for him, and the constant every year after year playing these great regular season numbers, and then when the playoffs come around, just not being able to come through.
Yeah, he's entering the territory, Frank, of can he win the big one? And maybe that's not fair because he's had teams that have gotten hurt, but this has a chance. I'm not writing the Cavs off in this series yet, but this has a chance to be the second time he's been the number one seed in a conference. He did it in 2021 and with Utah and failed to make the conference finals. And he's never been out of the second round. And even though he's putting up literally historic numbers, Frank, he's one of the all-time leaders in NBA history in postseason scoring. And he does it at a pretty darn efficient rate. He's fighting through a calf injury right now, Frank. That's how Durant tore his Achilles. Like every time he steps out there, every time he elevates, he's risking a torn Achilles, which would put the future of his career not in jeopardy in totality, but as an elite player in the NBA in jeopardy. He'd miss an entire season and then maybe some to get back to the caliber of player he is now. But the dude's a freaking warrior, like a legitimate, certified, unquestioned warrior. And he's all about winning. And I'm not sure the rest of the Cavs are as locked in and at that stage of their career where winning is all that matters to them as Donovan is. And I'll just say this, Frank, and I don't. This may be controversial. If Donovan had Darius's injury, he'd be playing.
I mean,
I'm
I guess you could
convinced.
believe.
I'm convinced of that. If Donovan had exactly what Darius had, he'd be playing.
What is Garland's injury?
Sprained big toe.
Oh, I mean, I
It's
haven't.
apparently a pain tolerance thing. That is what the reports coming out of Cleveland are.
I mean, that could be extremely painful, but who knows? I mean, it's unfair to like say that and judge it. Who knows? But the truly shocking series, based on the fact that everyone's healthy in this series, is the Celtics being down 0-2 to
Yeah.
the Knicks.
Yeah.
I mean, do you know how hard it is to blow a 20-point lead in one game, but to do it back-to-back games against the team like the Knicks, who went 0-11 against the top three teams? I cannot wrap my head around it. And if you look at the series odds on FanDuel right now, you would not believe this. The Celtics are still favored to win the series. They're minus 112. The Knicks are minus 104.
Oh,
The
I picked the Celtics. I'm still picking the Celtics.
I mean, there must be so much money coming in on Boston that they're not even a plus money, down 0-2 after dropping the first two games at home.
Yeah,
I mean,
that is crazy. But
so like if the
would
Knicks
you pick the
win,
Knicks right now? 2-0. Who's gonna win the series?
I mean, it looks like as of now it's the Knicks. I mean, listen, it's
Do you
so
feel
hard
confident saying that?
no, but it's so hard to repeat in the NBA. Jalen Brunson is, I mean, you think Tyrese Haliburton is cold blooded? Jalen Brunson is just, if not more
Hey,
cold blooded.
can I give you a stat real quick on Haliburton? I meant to say this earlier. This season, Frank, Haliburton was 10 of 11, and this includes the postseason. Did you see the stat?
In like the final like 30 seconds of the game or whatever.
Final 90 seconds of a game, he was 10 of 11 on shots to tie or take the lead. Jokic and Brunson. Jokic led the NBA with 11 field goals in the final 90 seconds. He was 11 of 24.
Wow.
Brunson and Haliburton were tied for second. Haliburton did it on 11 shots, 10 of 11. Brunson was 10 of 21. His expected field goal percentage, the highest ever by a long shot. He was 91% on game tying or game winning shots this season in the final 90 seconds of the game. Absurd. Absurd. Absurd.
So I think the winner of Game Three of Knicks Celtics wins the series. Like
I
if
agree,
the
I agree
Knicks
with that. I agree with that.
if the Knicks go up, the Knicks cannot. I mean, maybe they could, but they're not blowing a 3-0 series lead. Like, I mean, they could. I mean, I guess anything's possible. But I'm curious to see like it's essentially minus 112, minus 104 entering Game Three. So if the Knicks win Game Three, I imagine those will at least move to like minus 600 for the Knicks. I mean, it has to. I still. I mean, it's hard to believe you lose the first two games at home and you're still favorites. I, what if you look back at like the history of like odds in a series, like that has to be like something that's never happened before. But the resiliency of the Knicks, I mean, is really hard to believe. And I can't believe I'm saying this. Like I'm ready to throw the Nets aside and just become a Knicks fan. Like
They're fun, dude. They're fun.
like Jalen Brunson is so likable. Like I love every like he's so likable. He's not like annoying. He doesn't like make it all about himself. He's not obnoxious. He just goes out there and just plays basketball and wins. Like when the game's on the line, like even when Tatum put the Celtics ahead the other night, like when Brunson had the ball, I was like, oh, he's got this. Jalen Brunson, like he's gonna do it. So, and Mikal Bridges, which is unfortunate the fact that the Nets traded him, and he's coming up absolutely just massive, especially these end of game moments in the fourth quarters of games. In that Pistons game, he had the big defensive play in that game. Then against the Celtics, he blocks Jason Tatum, but time expiring. I mean, he's when it matters the most, Mikal Bridges is showing up. Obviously, this hasn't been the first season with the Knicks that they liked, but he is going out there and doing everything possible. Um, it's truly just hard to believe that this Knicks team is in this position right now. And I still can't believe that they're underdogs to win the series.
No, it's crazy. It is legitimately crazy that Boston, the team with the championship pedigree, the team with three Team USA guys, the team with the best player in the series, at least the guy you'd expect to be the best player in the series, is the team that looks like it has absolutely no confidence whatsoever in the final 6 minutes of the game. It makes no sense, Frank. Now, granted, Boston's missing threes at a historic clip. And I understand that,
It's like 78 missed threes in two
yeah,
games.
it's absurd.
But
And the
everyone thought that
expected,
there's no after what happened in game one. There's no way this could happen again, and it was literally like a mirror image of the same
yeah.
game.
So maybe they'll hit shots on the road. You could chalk it up to just two bad shooting games. It happens. The Cavs shot terrible in games 1 and 2 too. They were the best 3-point shooting team in the league all season. It happens. Is it an aberration? Are they getting the shots they want? Do you have to trust the process? I wish Boston late in games, when they just need some semblance of an offensive threat, would just attack the paint, attack Karl Anthony Towns in a pick and roll, find ways to isolate him and get Tatum or Brown or Holiday, White, whoever going downhill. But Frank, to me, it is crazy that this team of Celtics that has this starting lineup of five guys. I know Porzingis a little under the weather, but that they all of a sudden just forget how to score for such prolonged stretches. And you can say, yeah, they're getting the shots they want, but also if you're not making threes, get to the darn basket. Drive and get fouled. And I think at the end of games, and this is something Cleveland has tried to do to Boston for 2 years. It's easier said than done. New York matches up a lot better with them physically than Cleveland does. Is if you start playing one-on-one against Tatum and Brown, they're going to settle for a lot of bad shots, Frank. Tatum loves that little turnaround from 12 feet, and Brown loves to try and post you up and use his physical ability to overmatch you. But it's tough to overmatch OG Anunoby and Josh Hart and Mikal Bridges. Like, those guys are big, stocky guys, too, that do a really good job holding their own.
Yeah, I mean we'll see what plays out here. I was just looking at even more odds. Like the Cavs still have much better finals odds than both the Knicks and the Pacers. Like they're
I think the
the
most
odds.
likely outcome of the Cavs series on FanDuel is Cavs in 7.
So series correct score plus 265 is Cavs and seven. Yeah, that is the lowest odds for a potential
Yeah,
outcome. So it's pretty wild. Um, Elsewhere in the actually real quick. So let's put it on the record. Who wins Knicks Celtics
Celtics
in 6 or 7?
6.
And then who wins Pacers Cavs? I know you're picking the Cavs in 7.
I picked Cavs in 6 to start. I just did a stream for Bleacher Report this afternoon, Frank. Can I answer this question 4 minutes into game three on Friday? Like, because either what happened Tuesday night is the greatest rallying cry for a team that didn't face much adversity all season, or they've completely packed it in. They gave their entire effort in game two, and it wasn't enough, and that's it. And I don't know which way it's going to end, but I can't pick the Cavs right. I have to pick the Pacers in 7. But I don't think the series. I think it's going to be a competitive series. I don't think this is going to be a sweep.
So another unfortunate injury situation with the Warriors. Steph Curry strained his hamstring. We've seen this movie before with the Nets when James Harden did the same thing in 2021. Was not honestly since he there was a regular season game that year. I believe I want to say it was against the Rockets where Harden hurt his hamstring, came back, looked great. But ever since he suffered that hamstring injury in Game One against the Bucks in the Eastern Conference semifinals in 2021, like Harden went from being an elite, literally an elite player, MVP level candidate to this version of Harden, which has never come close to being in the MVP conversation ever again. I'm not saying that's going to happen to Steph Curry, but I just want to. I feel bad for the Warriors because I think that team could have won the championship this year if.
You think they could have won the championship?
I mean, yeah. I mean, with a healthy Steph,
I did.
Jimmy Butler, just battle tested, Draymond, like they have all the experience. And in a big moment, like I mean, the Thunder, yeah, I assume they're going to beat the Nuggets after what happened the other night. But I mean, there was definitely a path for it. It's not like it would have been inconceivable. Like I wouldn't just immediately cross them up without. I mean, without Steph, they have no chance. And I don't think they're going to win the series versus the T Wolves not without a healthy Steph either. So it's unfortunate for that. But the point I really wanted to make was about James Harden, who after the Clippers got eliminated, did not speak to the media, just left the arena.
Oh, I
And,
didn't
and
see that.
so I was literally waiting for it because we cover the obviously I watch the NBA post game stuff for the presser, see who speaks, and James Harden never showed his face. And this is just like you keep thinking that what's it going to take for this guy
Nothing.
to
Nothing.
understand and get it, and he's never going to get it ever.
No.
It's never going to happen for James Harden ever again. Steve Ballmer, listen, I know Harden was an All Star this year, but it doesn't matter. Throw that out the window. It's never going to happen for James Harden ever. He's never going to get it. He's always going to be this sore loser, selfish player. It's always everyone else's fault, not my fault. Sore loser, not talking to the media. He is one of the most pathetic players of all time. I guess he's going to go to the Hall of Fame, but I don't view him as a Hall of Famer at all. The other interesting Hall of Fame case is honestly Russell Westbrook, but I think he'll make it. But
They're both Hall of Famers. It's not even they're Frank.
but I'm just
It's
yes.
not even
You
a
could
question
say
they're gonna make it, but
you could say that, but when I look back at both of their careers, Harden especially, I will look back at as a loser. He was a losing player. You could sure put him in the
yeah,
Hall of Fame,
so is
but
Karl Malone, and he thought like he's an all-time great. Like
yeah,
Harden
I was too young to
has
really
offensive
appreciate Karl Malone,
basketball.
and I was too young to appreciate Karl Malone and all the rides he went through. I have much more respect for Russell Westbrook than I do for James Harden. At least Russell Westbrook goes out there, gives it his all on every given night. It's never gonna, shy away from anything. He just, I don't know how he went from being just a stat machine to not be able to hit a shot, and that's sort of hurt the trajectory of his career. But he still goes out there and busts his butt every single game. James Harden lays eggs in every single big moment. Every like, all right, James Harden, spotlight's on you in this game, and he shrinks in the moment every single. Unlike any player I've ever seen, people like say Aaron Judge has come through, but if you look at Aaron Judge's like postseason highlights, like there are so many moments that he comes through. And 2017 had a bunch of big hits against the Twins, against the Indians, who now the Guardians. 2019 home run off Verlander in the postseason, had big hits in 2020, and last year in the playoffs as well against Cleveland, and didn't have the greatest World Series, but like James Harden does not have his signature playoff moment. It does not exist.
No, I
And
mean Judge isn't on that level yet. He has more
but it's
moments.
not. But hey, yes, he has not won.
Harden's the all-time choke art, like the all-time Game 7. Who do you not want on your team? Like James Harden is the all-time undisputed king. It's not a question. I listened to the uh, Zach Lowe, Bill Simmons podcast, or Bill Simmons had Kirk Goldsberry on. They were talking about the article Zach Lowe wrote 6 years ago, it was 2019, on, hey, when's the James Harden Game 7 game coming? He's too good to have all these. And it's been 6 playoff appearances since, and it's only gotten worse. He wrote a death piece basically 6 years ago, and his piece has gotten better. Harden's legacy has gotten worse since. It's incredible. It's incredible how shy he is to the big moment.
I mean, it doesn't make any sense either. I mean, I think he's definitely deteriorated since his MVP Houston days, and since before that hamstring injury with the Nets, where I don't think he's ever come close to being the same guy. Because before that injury, I mean, you could basically shoe him in for 30 and 40 points a game with 10 or more assists, 40 with a triple double, literally every single game. I remember in 2021, like he was like the possibly the favorite to an NBA MVP before he got hurt, and then the injury sort of took him out of consideration. But since then, he has not even been close to being an MVP consideration. But even before that, he always choked in the big moments. So it's hard to believe that someone that talented with so much God-given abilities in the big moments just shrinks. And it's not even just like he plays poorly. He just does not shoot, does not attack. He just completely
He's
changes.
scared. He's scared of the moment.
Is that what it is? Is that what it is? Like, I mean, at some point, don't you have to like someone has to like give you a pep talk? Hey, James, like, it's just like whenever I produce a big show or a very busy night, whether it's Selection Sunday or the NBA draft or the NFL draft, it's just like one step at a time. It's I have everything planned out. It's just literally the way I put it's just another show. It's just another game. I think that's the mentality that obviously it's a lot easier said than done, but I think that's the way you have to go about it. You can't be
It's
like,
how
oh
you
my
should,
God.
Frank. But clearly, it's not how some dudes do it. I mean, how I just did the podcast I did. There's three different levels of toughness. There's physical toughness, there's mental toughness, and there's emotional toughness. And I think James Harden's physically a tough player. I think emotionally he might be a tough player, but mentally he's not mentally tough whatsoever. He does not have the ability when the moments are brightest, the biggest, and the lights are brightest, and the pressure is at its peak to come through. And we've seen it time after time after time. And it's done what you have to be done waiting. There are only so many times you can get fooled by the same character. Eventually, the character reveals its true self, and James Harden has revealed that he can lead you to 50, 60 regular season wins, and he can lead you to 3 wins in a postseason series. He can't lead you to 4 in a game 7, Frank. It's not in his DNA.
And when he gets in the Hall of Fame and people look at that plaque, I'll remember him as being a playoff loser and a choker. Not as an all-time great who deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. That's how I will view him. Obviously, that's all up to perception. People can view it however they like. I'm just telling you, I view him as a loser and a choker. But that's beside the
Okay.
point. Let's talk a couple other things before we go. The Yankees, after another horrible loss on Monday when I quit on the season, literally, the Yankees have since responded, scored 10 runs in the seventh inning on Tuesday, and then on Wednesday, Trent Grisham, who's been an absolute just beast, he's more home runs than Juan Soto. Comes up in the eighth inning, ties the game, Yankees get the first walk off win of the season. Um, it just, I like, it was so painful watching this team. Obviously, things can go downhill again, but the amount of they've blown 5 games when leading in the eighth inning this season already, which is absurd. Devin Williams, I know he had a big moment on Wednesday, but has just not looked remotely like an elite level reliever. Luke Weaver has looked bad his last couple of outings, so they got to shore up the back end of the bullpen game. And Jonathan Loaiza back soon will be very, very important. But the MVPs of the Yankees to this point in the season are obviously Aaron Judge, who's hitting over. If he's not so hitting over 400, hitting right around there. He's been obviously unbelievable, except for struck out, I believe, 3 or 4 times against Dylan Cease the other night. But Trent Grisham and Max Fried have been just more than anything could ever
He's
ask for.
hitting 400 on the dot, Frank. 4 on the dot.
Max Fried. I mean,
Incredible.
the Yankees are 8-0 in his starts. He goes out there, pitches 7 or 8 innings. Literally, he was bad his first start of the season.
And that's it. He's been tremendous since.
Literally, it's 7 or 8 innings, like one run or no runs, and just completely just dominates the opponent. It's one of the most dominant stretches I've seen from a pitcher have on the Yankees like in my lifetime. Like
You
whenever
ready for
he
his
goes
game?
out, of
Can I read his game log to you, Frank?
course.
He started first game against Milwaukee. Not a good performance. 4 2/3, 6 runs. After that, 5 2/3 against Pittsburgh, 1 run. After that, 7 innings against Detroit, no runs. After that, 6 2/3 against Kansas City, 2 runs. After that, 7 2/3 against Tampa, no runs. After that, 6 innings against Toronto, no runs. After that, 7 innings against Tampa again, no runs, and then he pitched 7 innings of 1 run ball against San Diego on Wednesday. Incredible. His ERA is down to 105 on the season.
I just checked the odds to win Cy Young in the American League. Who do you believe is favored right now?
If it's not him, I'm going to go place money on it right now.
It's not him. He's actually third, which I thought was laughable.
I'm putting money on it
Both
literally right now.
both Tarek Skubal and Garrett Crochet, who will both have records of 3-2 and ERAs over 2, have better odds right now to win the Cy Young. And I thought honestly, I hadn't looked at the odds since like before the season. I thought for sure there was no question in my mind that Max Fried was going to be the favorite. He leads all of the American League wins with 6. He has not lost a decision, and among qualified pitchers, he has the best ERA. Crochet is fifth, and Skubal's seventh. Like I know like Skubal obviously has the track record of being I believe he won it last year, and uh Garrett Crochet's been unbelievable. I mean 2.0 ERA speaks for itself as well. But there's no pitcher in the American League has been better right now than Max Fried. And if we're saying like who's the Cy Young right now, if we gave the award today, then it's no question it's Max Fried. But I was just surprised that he wasn't the favorite, given the team he plays for and how great he's been.
I just put $20 on him to win.
I wonder in the MVP
480.
odds.
Judge is heavy favorite.
Wow, he's minus 1,000. Wow,
Yeah. Yeah, not there's no value in betting Judge.
damn. I honestly didn't think it'd be that high, but wow. Um, pretty wild. Two more things before we go. Number one, the Kentucky Derby winner sovereignty pulled out of the Preakness. I think that this should be something that should never be allowed unless literally the horse is like going to die. Or if you win the Kentucky Derby, it should be mandated you run the Preakness. And if you
I,
don't,
I
you
actually
get
agree. Yeah, you
and if you don't, you get stripped of the win and your winnings.
stripped of your winnings.
Stripped of the winning. Like horse racing more than any other. They need the Kentucky Derby winner in the Preakness. So you have to change the format of the schedule and push it back a month. Then so be it. But we need the Kentucky Derby winner at the Preakness. It's
It
like
does
so.
suck that it does suck that we don't get a even a shot at the Triple Crown. Like let's let's do it. I mean, that's what makes horse racing fun is you get a chance to potentially witness history. And the last couple of years we haven't even had the shot to see it.
It's it's literally like horse racing just continues to shoot themselves in the foot all the time. Like this is so obvious. Do whatever you have to do to get the Preakness win, to get the Derby winner in the Preakness. It's so obvious. Why isn't it happening? And the reasoning I saw was, I mean, they said the best interest of the horse, but whatever, just pathetic. And then Shador Sanders plans to wear number 12 with the Browns. Shador Sanders thinks he's literally, I think he literally has, he thinks he's Tom Brady. He's going in there like he's gonna have this,
Well, he
win
asked
over.
for two, he asked for two, and they already gave two to another player. So stop looking into it.
Honestly, no Browns quarterback should ever wear the number 2 again after Johnny Manziel. That should be like off limits.
Yeah, well, these are just the rookie camp numbers. These could all change. If DeAndre Carter, who's wearing number 2 to start, doesn't make the team and he's a fringe guy, then he's probably going to be number 2 if he makes the 53-man roster. So if you're waiting to buy a Shador jersey, I would wait until the 53-man roster comes out to do anything.
All right, so we won't overreact to that.
Yeah, it's
Uh,
not. I tried to get the guys to overreact in the show today, and they enlightened me on the process of how this works. It's a giant nothing burger.
all right, that's all I got for this edition of Lucas podcast. The first podcast with Mike as a 32-year-old.
And in the new spot, what do you think of the background, Frank?
I miss your brick wall.
I know it's somewhere. My
No, I'm
very
kidding.
fake brick wall.
I actually think this looks better than your brick wall.
Thank you. Shout
But
out to
that will do
Gabby's
it.
shout out to Gabby's dad for helping put up the shelves. So
So real quick, NBA draft lottery is on Monday. Where do the Nets pick? There's no chance in God's green earth they get the first pick.
no, I'm hoping they fall to number 4 though. Hopefully they jump into that top 4.
By the way, those two Rutgers guys, if Rutgers can't even win with those two guys in their team, what makes you think those guys will be like can win the NBA? I'm telling you right now, Ace Bailey and Dylan Harper will be busts.
I like Harper. Bailey, that is the largest gap on where I think he could end up like top to bottom in a long, long time. Crazy skill, has no idea how to play basketball.
we'll see. I just know it's not going to break well for the Nets. It just never does. The team is just they're just cursed, and it's going to
Cursed.
continue on Monday. I think they'll get like the sixth or seventh pick, and
What are their what odds are they? Where are they actually? NBA draft.
so they have a 9% chance of getting the first pick. That's one, two, three, four, five. They have the sixth best odds behind the Jazz, Wizards, Hornets, Pelicans, Sixers, and then the Nets.
Well, let's hope they jump into the top four because I think
If
they're
the
too.
Sixers do not deserve a top three, if the Sixers get a top three pick, that's just ridiculous because they don't deserve it at all.
I agree. I agree.
And now the Suns uh gave their pick to the Rockets, and and the Suns have a slash Rockets have a 3.8% chance. So it ends up being if it ends up being the Suns slash well, it would be the Rockets pick, that would be even more of a gut punch because the Nets should have had that pick, but they gave it away for freaking just to get their own picks back.
It's still better than where they would have been.
So we'll see. I'm going in with a very negative mindset, and if they get the first pick, I'm all the way back as a Nets fan. If they don't, I'm
All right,
officially a Knicks fan.
Frank, this was fun, man.
See you next week. Peace.